Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today is May 21st, 2019, and this is the news number 93. We are approaching 100. For those who've been keeping count, yes, there's not exactly 93 news shows, but I have prepped everything, sometimes even recorded, but never managed to edit some of those news. But it's still 93 to me. So there's a lot of announcements this week, a lot of personal announcements for the channel and whatnot, so it's a long one. If you don't feel like it, you can skip to watching this video another day. First of all, super film support, doing really good. I just recorded a couple of videos of those. The prints are still there till the end of this month. And I'm going to do a giveaway, okay? So this show, the news, gets around 1,500 to 1,900 views after a month or so. And I want to do a giveaway to celebrate the 100 news show. It's one of the things that I started off just a spin-off for ideas I had, and it's become one of my channel's identity. I've been doing it weekly for I don't know how long, and I want to do a giveaway. But for that giveaway, I'm going to do it through Patreon, okay? And before you go, oh, Patreon, of course. My Patreon starts at $1. So whoever is on Patreon, even if it's the $1 a month, and there's 1,700 people watching this thing weekly, I'm sure we can get, a 6% to sign up for Patreon and help me there. A lot of people there have been sponsoring this channel and supporting me and have been very generous. We have a WhatsApp group, which is really fun, and people are starting to help each other through the WhatsApp group. It's really, really nice. So first of all, the giveaway is going to be through Patreon, but I'm going to be announcing what I will be giving away here. I am up right now, and my Patreon is open. You can see how many Patreons I have, how much money I'm getting. But right now, we have 31 very generous Patreons, and they're helping me every month. So if you're on Patreon and we make it to 40 Patreons, I'll be giving away one thing. If we make it to 50 Patreons, we'll give another thing on top of that. And each item will be a separate giveaway. So by the end of, 7 weeks there'll be 7 different items that we'll be giving away. There'll be a couple of specials if we make it to a very high number of Patreons, which I think you guys will be very interested. First giveaway that will be done if we reach 40 Patreons before we hit 100 will be one of my stocks, one box of FP100C of my personal stock. It's the latest batch. I have a couple boxes that I'm keeping for something important, but one's going for this giveaway. So if we reach 40 Patreons before 100, I'll be giving that box away to anywhere in the world, to any of my Patreons from $1 up. So that's how it's going to be. If we make it to more than that, I'll announce it next week what I'll be adding to that giveaway. So I want to get it out of the way. So for those who are on Patreon, thank you so much. For those who could be on it, consider $1 a month is, very, very little amount for a lot of people. I know it's a lot for some people, but it helps me and everything in this channel goes running smoother. So yeah, that's the first thing that I want to get out of the way. Second, we have a new sponsor for this channel. And that is going to be the awesome people at Carmencita Film Lab. For those who know, I went a couple of weeks ago down to Valencia to do a video for, actually for Cameraville, who's a friend, his own channel about Carmencita. I helped him record it and stuff because it was in Spain. And when I was there, I talked to them about sponsoring a couple things for this channel. They're going to be sponsoring the developing and scanning of those shooting videos where I grab a camera, I load it, and I take it out and I shoot around and give my impressions on the film and whatnot. They are going to be handling that. So that's awesome news for me, awesome news for you, because there's something I really don't like is scanning. It's usually what takes me the longest to make in the video. Not the shooting, not the editing, it's the scanning. So I will still be developing some of my own color film, some of my own black and white film, and they'll be scanning those so it has a better resolution, better color, and all that. So thank you so much for Carmencita for joining with me to do this. If you guys ever send film to them already or are considering them, just leave them a note, or even on their Instagram, you can follow them and say, hey, awesome news about Nico. That would really help me and help them show the support and they're doing the right thing in helping a YouTube channel like this one. So yeah, that's Carmencita. Very excited to see what comes from that. Photoklassik magazine, Photoklassik International magazine, is doing a little bit of a survey about lab rentals. They're looking for information about labs that will rent their space for people to develop, print, and whatnot. So I'm going to leave the link below. It's a Facebook link. You can open it. If you don't have Facebook, you can probably write them, or you can write me and I'll write them. about places in whatever country or place you live that has this kind of service. I actually do it in my own studio. Still only have like a friend that comes every now and then, and we end up having beer, so it's not really a rental. But if you're interested, I think it's very interesting. They're going to make a listing of all the places that you can do this service. A lot of people don't own a darkroom, and it could be beneficial to have a rental space. So head over to Photoklassik's Facebook page, and you can see the post and the link below. Then we have news from CatLABS of JP. I announced that they were coming out with the 80 speed 120 film, the 320 speed 35 film, and now the 80 speed has made it up to 4x5 and 8x10. And CatLABS has made an effort to make it the most inexpensive film in the USA. So if you're starting large format and you want to start shooting on the cheap, which is what I highly recommend you do when you start, because there's a lot of mistakes to be made, CatLABS of JP has this film, 80 ISO. The box of 4x5 is like $29.99 or something like that. They're cheaper than Arista, cheaper than FOMA, cheaper than many of these other films. And I don't know how much cheaper, but it's cheaper. And you can go and purchase the box with the link below. Then we have news from Adox, who's, as you know, starting their new facility, and chemicals should be one of the things. Last week we have the news on the powderless or dustless powder. And this week we have news about them coming out with their new, or bringing back the RA4 chemistry. And it's the first time made in Bad Saro, which is where their location of the factory is. So if you're an RA4 printer, which is the process you use for color prints, you'll be, happy to hear. It makes 2.5 liters, and it comes in a very simple 2-bath kind of system. So I'm very excited to try it out, because I'm trying to get back on RA4 for the channel, for me, and for everyone. So yeah, very excited to see that coming from Adox. Another thing that's coming, or is in the works, is Tetenal, or new Tetenal, is pushing towards the tablet E6 C41 in black and white. So the tablets, as you guys know, the tablets, as you guys know, are basically going to be the same chemistry, the C41, E6 and such, but pushed into this little tablet size that is going to be, travel friendly, shipping friendly and such, and expire friendly. So you can have those tablets for a very long time. It won't go bad like the liquid. But they need people to send their requirements and what they are looking for to help them out. So it's not happening yet. All the information and everything is already done. They already do these tablets for black and white for X-rays, but it's not exactly the same system as black and white normal, like our film. So Emulsive have made a little article where you can go ahead and leave a comment of what you would love to see on the Tetenal tablets. You can give an idea of what pricing you think would be work for you. You can give an idea of what size you would like to see, something that will give you render 500 milliliters or 1 liter or 5 liters, so they know where to head off. The main problem right now is, yes, new Tetenal is still going. They're working on what Tetenal left, but there's less people and they don't have a lot of manpower. So it's not about not knowing. They don't have to do so much research. It's more about the time that it's going to consume to make this product. So it's very important if you can help them out, figure it out. Sorry, my news ran out, so we got to use the phone. Then we have Ilford ultra large format order is all the way till Friday. So 24th of May is your last day to order. Go to your closest retailer that supports this order and ask whatever you want. Ultra large format means, small rare sizes or the huge sheet sizes, even roll film, like in humongous things. If you're interested in that, it's once a year. Ilford does it. You've got till Friday to order. Then we have news on Ektachrome being listed on Kodak's 16 or film stocks, and not film as in film photography, film for cinematography. Their 16 millimeter Ektachrome is being listed and priced right now. So hopefully those people shooting 16 millimeter film will be able to get their hands on some Ektachrome very soon. Then we have an update on the Pixl-ltr timeline. As you know, the Pixl-ltr is the little digitalizing little device that you put and you use a camera and stuff made by Hamish Gill from 35mmC. And he's had a couple bumps down the road, but he's already working on all of it. And he made a new timeline. So if you're a backer like I am, you just got to see. It's really interesting to see how much work he did into that. So to see when the product will finally be shipped to us. So if you're one of those backers, you can check it out, or maybe you're waiting for them to come out into the market and then buy it because you don't trust Kickstarter. I don't, blame you. You can check it out. Then we have Mint. We have news on Mint coming out with their RF70. And I know I've said this plenty of times, but the Mint RF70 hasn't been available to the general public till last week or the beginning of this week. They've come out with two models. We've come out with the RF70 manual, which is the one I've been using, which has an automatic preset, so you can use A for aperture priority, and then it has A+1, A-1, so you can do, overexposure or underexposure if you're shooting against the sun or, something like that. And then you have manual settings, so you can set your own aperture and time with the camera. So that camera is coming out, but then they came out with a simpler version called the automatic camera. So it's the same camera as the RF70, but it's automatic, and it has A for aperture priority, A+1, and A-1, but it's cheaper. It's around like $150, $200 cheaper. And this is one of those things that if you're shooting Instax wide and you like the bigger Instax wide and you want to have something that's not completely manual because you don't really understand it and you want to save a couple $100, it's a great option. I'm really happy to see Gary and the team coming out with the RF70. They've done so much research and so much work towards this product. It's probably the biggest announcement in instant photography in a very, very long time. It's an interesting product. It's a useful product. It's, it syncs with flash. It has its own flash. I mean, to me, it's probably the biggest Instax camera or instant camera that's come out in probably decade. So very excited to see it. You can purchase it, you order it and it'll ship to you. It's normal, no pre-sales and stuff like that. Now it's in the market for everyone. Then we have a new lens by MS-Optic. I saw this through Bellamy Hunt, Japan Cameras Hunter website. It's a 50mm 1.5, and it has some interesting things. It has a chroma control, so you can change the chroma that you want on your pictures. This is probably more useful on digital bodies, and you have your aperture separate from the focus, so it doesn't change when you focus. I guess this was a problem that was happening with lenses, but a 51.5, just so you know. You can order it or pre-order it through Bellamy's site, japancamera.hunter.com, products, MS, blah, blah, blah. I'll have the link below. Then we have the Jobo CPP Classic, which I hinted a couple of weeks ago. It's finally in the market. We know the price. We know what specs it has. It's basically a CPP3 that they've stripped off all the electronics and they've only put the little knobs. So it's like a CPP3 and a CPE2 had a child called the CPP Classic. Knobs, no dials and no text. And their reasoning for this was the Asian market doesn't always understand English. So the knobs are very simple to use. You got degrees, you got on, off, and spin speed. So, 1 or 2, whatever the speeds are. And the CPP Classic takes all those expert tanks, just like the CPP3, which is the reason I use it, is for the expert tanks for 8x10, 4x5, 5x7, and even sheet, or much bigger in paper tanks. So that's good. The price is the same as the CPP3, which I thought would be a little slightly lower because there's no electronics, there's no computer in there, but they've kept the price the same to not cannibalize the sales of the CPP3. I would actually be more interested in a CPP Classic for a couple hundred less, mostly because the computers are, going to fail at some point. And those are the news for this week. Remember, there's a giveaway for whoever signs up to my Patreon. When this news show comes to 100, which is 7 more episodes, I'll be announcing the winners. Each item will be coming a week, and the giveaway will be done at the 100, and each item will be 1 giveaway. So if there's 7 items, 7 giveaways. There's 8 items, 8 giveaways. So for this week, I've announced that if we reach 40 Patreons, and it starts at $1 only, you can go higher if you want and you feel generous, but $1 would do a great difference. You participate in the giveaway of 1 box of FP100C. And I know 1 box is 10 sheets, but by the price it's, turned into, it's a nice gift. So yeah, everyone in the world can apply. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And as always, if you have any information, you can send an email below. And you can also send me questions through Superfilm Support if you have any doubts about film. See you next week with hopefully more giveaways.